Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a podcast about East Asian pop culture and all the machinations thereof, or at least the ones that catch our interest. Fun discussion we do on a semi-regular basis. We're a couple of dudes that like some K-pop and more. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my tag team partner, my partner in crime, my right-hand man to my left-hand side, Brandon Cooper, a.k.a. King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing well. It's been a little while, but we are here. We're back. We're having fun.
We're going to get this down and get it out there for your entertainment. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I had two funny situations. One, a coworker of mine, like right before he left, just like started getting into Luna, like because somebody was like, "Oh man, this K-pop group is really cool." So he was like checking them out, and he was like, "Have you heard of them?" I was like, "Yeah, they're pretty cool." I was like, they've grown on me. I didn't like them at first, but they've grown on me, and I like Luna. And then I was like kind of telling him some other stuff, and he's like, "Look, man, right now this is all I can focus on." And I was like, "That's fine. That's your stance for right now. Is you just you go for that." And he was like, "Wait, is that what that means?" And it's just so funny seeing somebody get into K-pop and then learn all the lingo.
Yes. But one of these days you can say, "I can show you the world."
Yeah. The other funny thing was hanging out in New York with Sunbun. We ended up somewhere, and it just like, funnily enough, there was like these big white vans with like Korean flags in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just up in the top, like looked like stuff that goes to the UN and shit. And Sunbun made the joke like, "Oh shit, fucking BTS speaking at the UN, like let's go get tickets." And then like the next couple days after we left, they were like, "Yeah, BTS talks at fucking official something," and then they're also performing in New York, and we were like, "Oh, okay."
Like, we're performing at Citi Field of all places.
Yeah,
I actually had a coworker who's my K-pop friend, Kat, at work, and her girlfriend actually went to the concert, I think at the Staples Center, and like she was sharing like videos and pictures to her, and we were both like freaking jealous because like she got to go to the freaking concert. I was like, man, it's one of those things that I've long thought. I don't know. Like, I've long thought that I didn't really want to go to a boy band concert. But I think because historically it's been those fan meet / concerts that are in semi big venues, but still leaves you so subject to all the boy band fandom nonsense. But like BTS is playing stadiums. That's a big group. You don't have to deal with any of those like fan side people. You just get lost out there in the pit and just have a bunch of people having fun, having a good time.
You show up for the first song, leave before the last song.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but speaking of the happenings, speaking of the things that are going on, we talk about what's new to start off every episode. What's caught our attention since we last gathered? Kaz, what's new?
Yeah.
What's got your attention?
So for me this week, if I can pull it up on the screen I need it on, for me this week, the first song that caught my attention was this new one by NCT 127. Who NCT is a group we've talked about time and time again here on the show. But this is their song "Regular." Braggadocious warning. Put that out there. If you're not in the bragging in music, this is not your song. And it's the English version, which weirdly for me, I have not really thought of NTC as a crossover group yet in a medium where they need English version of a song.
Yeah.
Like Japanese versions, yeah, maybe Chinese versions, yeah. But I find it ooh, hello.
Oh, sorry.
I find it interesting because it's just I still hear myself.
Oh, sorry. I have no idea what's going on.
La la la, man.
Okay. All right. All right.
Bop. Technical difficulties. That's our technical difficulty songs. But yeah, so back to NTC. I don't know. I just find it surprising to see them in a position where they're doing an English version of a song, but it doesn't surprise me. And then the song itself is not great, but I don't think it's terrible. If taking it for the fun value and the braggadocious value, I don't think it's terrible. I think there's some fun little quips in there and things like that, but yeah. I ain't mad at them.
I think it has a lot, like just at face value, not knowing anything, not really thinking about the fact that this is a pop boy band. It's enjoyable. Like there's moments of it that's enjoyable. There's quite a bit of like it's a very bragging song, and it's a very kind of like I will say, if I were to knock the lyrics for anything, it's not really the bragginess, it's the almost like it's boilerplate. Like it's not like particularly like it doesn't feel like particularly unique to the group. Like it just feels like these are the cool guy rap lines that you do when you're bragging about your money and your success and being a successful pop group. You talk about your bank account going up, and you talk about your diamonds, and you do the line where you talk about ice. Be careful, you're gonna catch a cold. If I were to knock, I would say it's like it's a little boilerplate.
It's generic.
Yeah, it's lyrically it is. Yeah, lyrically it's generic. It's like, give me another thing. Diamonds. All right, cool. Diamonds are in there. Great. Cars. Yeah, fucking. You just kind of went down the list and then put lyrics next to all those things that were then on the list. Like, yes,
it wasn't. I think that is the best way to put it. It's not bad in any particular way, but the biggest knock against it is it has no NTC uniqueness to it.
Yeah, and it's like, especially kind of coming up from a group that it's like, I've joked several times calling them NCT48, but like the almost like them taking that AKB factory, really doing the factory expendable members kind of like almost mechanical form of doing a boy band. Those things could feel like a bigger deal, like the fact that it's so kind of generic can throw you off.
Yeah, because then like no one has uniqueness and they're always replaceable, which was the problem I came to at a certain point with AKB48 is like you find uniqueness in a particular person, but everything else about the group is so generic and cookie cutter and just copy paste that like even this uniqueness that they kind of force you to strive to find in a person so that you latch onto them, so that you want to forward this person in this group that is at blanket just like nothing. So like you're pushing to keep a person in a group that like it is so interchangeable that like nothing else matters with AKB. So, but NTC has had these little glistening moments of uniqueness within them. So it does feel weird to see them do something cookie cutter, but then with all within that circle of a point that you made, like it's still kind of fun.
Still kind of fun. Yeah. Let's see what more we'll expect from any number of different NCT subunits. Be there as they may. But it's interesting. Moving forward.
Moving forward, I got another song and new video from Super Junior. This one is a crossover track, though.
Yes. They're continuing to come after the Latinx market, the Latin American market, with another collab.
So I'm going to say this. I am not the biggest fan of this song. But that being said, I want this to keep happening. I want things like this to keep happening. I love the fact of not just doing collaborations with American artists. We have talked about time and time again how much K-pop resonates within Latin America. Almost even more than it resonates in America. Or just in Latin countries in general. Like, it just has this crossover appeal that people enjoy. There's a lot of similarities for people to enjoy. So it definitely grabs people. So I think doing collaborations like this is a good thing. It's really, really a good thing. It's just this song didn't full on catch me. But I don't think it's terrible. It just didn't really catch me.
Yeah. It's the other thing where in this genre, this sounds in this genre, as somebody who's spent many a times in their mom's car while the local romantic Latin music station plays on the radio. This is of all the Latin romantic songs out there, this is one of them. It's a little like I could, which is not to say that it's not a thing of like a lot of the songs and just pop music in general that has some sameness, but the parts that Rake bring to the table are kind of like they're there, and it makes for an interesting mix, but I think it's not particularly exceptional. Like other than the fact that it's dudes who do this as their base thing also participating, but it's still a cool thing. I think if it keeps happening, it's still a cool thing. And I imagine with Super Junior, as long as it keeps succeeding for them, they will keep doing it. Also, it takes somebody as bold as Heechul to go ahead and roll his damage roll at the same time as his attack roll. I mean, you got to check if you're going to hit, then you roll your damage. You roll your d20 to check if you're going to hit, then you roll your damage roll. I'm just saying.
You're reaching. All right. Last but not least for me this week is my boy, your boy, everybody's boy. If you don't love him, there's something wrong with you. Loco. With a fucking like just some straight R&B ballad shit, bro. Just trying to get into your feelings.
Getting your feelings.
It's fucking Loco trying to get in my feelings, man. I just enjoyed this. I think I'm a mark for Loco at this point. Like he could just do no wrong in my book. He's at Zion T status.
Yeah. I think it works well. I think it's a song that is really nice. It's super mellow and chill and kind of it's all up in its feelings. Of course, we're talking about It Takes Time. And featuring Cold. Which is interesting, but I think it works well. I would say another cool thing, the fact that it's actually like more fun aspect ratio things in K-pop. It's that it actually is in super widescreen, as you can tell by how YouTube does aspect ratios now, which is all kind of awesome. The fact that you see that it is in like super widescreen and not just that they made a video and then just added black bars on the top and bottom. Like they actually like recut it, which is really cool.
It was weird at first because I started hovering around. I was like, "The fuck is wrong with this?" I had a moment where I was like, "The fuck's wrong with this?"
But I think it works well. And Loco is just good at what he does. He's a master of his craft. And his craft is mellow, hip hop, R&B feelings.
Yeah. I mean, but we've seen him do upbeat tracks too. But he definitely. I just think he's a really good writer. He's a really good writer. He has a good understanding of how to work with a beat and and he picks beats that work really well for him. It's just, I don't know. He's a smart kid when it comes to music.
Yeah, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to more. I'm always looking forward to more from Loco as he keeps doing that damn thing. Good stuff. All right, I'm taking over. For what's new with me. Other than random variety shows that I'm now getting into, other than random TV shows, which I could get into, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to mention I'm suddenly obsessed with Dancing High, which is a KBS show, which is not doing well in the ratings, and it's not great, but it's fun in a kind of a dumb way, in a cute way. But it's basically a dance competition for teenagers. So it's like a teen dance competition, and it's with
America's
5
Best
coaches.
Dancer.
Yeah, it's like that. So it's ultimately supposed to be individual. So they have a draft class of all these great dancers that they recruited that are teenagers. Then they draft they drafted them into these 5 teams, one for Leah Kim, one for Hoya of Infinite, one for Igigwan from Highlight, one for one of the dudes from Winner, one for Just Jerk, the dance team. So it's it's fun, and they made that into America's Best Dance Crew, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's not a I'm not going to call it an exceptional competition show of all time, but it's kind of fun, dumb fun. But I think it's worth checking out. But beyond that, got some songs that did catch my attention. Speaking of collaborations that I enjoy seeing happen, we have the latest song from SM Station. I guess this time it's Station Young or Station X0. We have in a surprise grouping that came out of nowhere, and it's kind of I still don't know how it happened. We have Sugi of Red Velvet, Shinbi of G-Friend, Chungha, formerly of IOI and now a solo artist, and Soyeon of G-Idol, and formerly of I'm Pretty Rap Star and the like, collaborating in a song called Wow Thing. And it's actually a cool song. It's It's good. I wouldn't call it an all-time classic, but it's a good song. It's fun. I honestly like the biggest like takeaway from this is that if you put this in front of somebody, if you put this in front of me and I didn't know who these people were, and you told me that this was just a group that was debuting, that was composed, I would believe you. Like, this just looks like a complete girl group. Like, it works that way. There's someone who said that probably Shinbi is a little bit lost in the mix here as far as like what she contributes to the team. And of course, it being a kind of an SM song, Seulgi's gonna shine a little bit, and then Chungha's the soloist. I do enjoy Jeon Soyeon, her contribution as the rapper. Of course, she's gonna stand out.
Yeah.
But I think it works well. They look great. The song is kind of fun, and it works well. And then it's like,
their voices work really well together. Like, that's kind of the big takeaway I had from it. Like you said, it's not like a world burning song. And I listened to it like a couple times because it was just like, I listened to it and it didn't grab me, but it was like, there were just like little things that I was like, this feels weird. And then I had to look at it again and I was like, wait, isn't Station X just like collaborations? And I was like, they sound this good together, and this is just like a throw together? Like, this is a fucking pickup game? What do you mean?
Suddenly they had a pickup game and suddenly came out with the dream team.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, I think the biggest strength of this group is also the dance performance aspect of it all. Like, the choreography is really cool and interesting, which is kind of almost a shame because they're probably not going to be doing this on like music shows and like performing it live on too many places because everybody's still busy with whatever everybody else is doing. Like, so there's no time for this. But I think that part really shined. But yeah, it's really cool and interesting. Station X. Also, they did announce that the next Station X collaboration or a future one is going to be Wendy and John Legend. So I'm intrigued by whatever the hell that is. So we'll look forward to that. We're definitely going to be talking about that.
John Legend needs something to do. He's doing it.
Yeah.
Which, in all truthfulness, he needs nothing to do. That man does too much shit as it is, right? He needs to sit the fuck down.
Calm down.
Like, I checked the other day, because, like, his name came up for some reason, and I was like, the fuck is John Legend up to? I'm like, oh, he's the voice in this. Oh, he's working on this. Oh, he's doing music for this thing. I'm like, oh, he's doing music for this thing. Oh, he's the voice on this thing. I was like, God damn, bro. Like, how many checks do you need? Like,
yes.
Hard-working man.
Yeah. Look, yeah. It needs to calm down. All right. Next up, to transition to the next track. Uju Sonia, Cosmic Girls. They came up with a new track called Butake, a little bit ago, like a couple of weeks ago. But I wanted to kind of bring it up because it's a neat track and it works well. Musically it's really cool and interesting. Like the visuals of the music video are really cool. It's very kind of like classic girl group, stuff. But it works well. I like that it's like this is the K-pop girl group's Hogwarts. Which is fun of the whole story of the video. It works well. I think it's interesting to see what they do. I almost want to say like it's interesting to see what they do minus the Chinese members, but it's hard to kind of like pinpoint those kind of things, especially with large member groups. Because of course this is their comeback that they had to do without the Chinese members. Which is odd because only two of those Chinese members have those commitments to the Chinese Produce 101. But I guess they just decided, no, let's not have any of them. I guess they're all busy, which is understandable. But I think it's the fact that they have so many members, even just with these, 10-member group. It doesn't feel like it's lacking anything, which is a blessing and kind of a curse, I guess, for the members that aren't there. But I think it works well. I think it's a nice song, and it works musically. It's really cool to listen to. What did you think?
Yeah, it was on the meh scale for me. Mm-hmm. It does. Like, the first thing I did notice was just, like, the hypercuts. I was like, oh, shit, we're down to those fucking half a second fucking...
Yeah.
No shots longer than fucking 2 seconds. Fucking...
That old... it's the old Tiara style. When MBK used to do a Tiara. It's like, you gotta have the hypercuts.
Yeah. But like you said, I'm not super familiar with this group, so I was a little like,
yeah.
Wait, are they all in a group? Are some of them background dancers? I can't tell. But yeah, like it's just really, it's so hard for me to really like get into these like more than 6-member groups now. It's hard. I can't.
It's tricky. I think 7 is a good size. 7, because you got to have the odd numbers for dance formations. 7. G-I-DLE has 7. I think G-Friend has 7.
Kind of almost at this point, like more than 7 is pushing it for me. Probably, like I could get into a 7-member group, but like,
yeah,
it's hard. Probably why I gravitated so hard to fucking Red Velvet. It's just like, oh shit,
5 members,
fucking 5 girls. Let's go.
One of my current favorites is Mamamoo. That's 4 girls.
Yeah,
just right down there. Shit, I was rooting for Purples. I don't know what the hell happened to them. There were 3 members. Yeah, like
that's what happened. There was only 3 of them.
Yeah,
they're like, look, can't do this anymore.
Yeah. But speaking of 7-member groups that I'm into, we have the new track from Dreamcatcher. Solid. This time, kind of moving away from the fantastical nightmare themes, now moving into the modern nightmare themes, I guess. So this song is really cool. It has a really nice energy to it. It has a really nice like vibe to it. Like, it's super catchy and super like cool. Like, the music is still cool. It still has that that rock edge. It's always scary with like Dreamcatcher, like because what's gotten me excited and gotten so many people excited is the fact that they have this unique like concept and style that they're doing with the group. Kind of doing something different. You always worry of like, oh, the next one going to be where they kind of like pump the brakes and go back to let's go back to normal. When everything that's so great about them is how unique they are in the landscape of K-pop. But this definitely kind of still fits in with their style and does it really well. I think that they all have several of the members have nice moments to shine. Jeon is a fantastic vocalist, as a fantastic person. She's hilarious. And they have really cool, a lot of really cool moments, a lot of really cool like set pieces in there. Dami has a nice little like her nice little rap verse like later on in the song works well. I think they look great. The visuals of the music video is really cool. I'm just really kind of like even more falling headed over heels for Dreamcatcher. I think they're kind of like my new like group that is digging themselves into me. I don't know. That being said, me, the excited person, that's my thoughts. What did you think, Kaz?
I enjoyed this one. I think I've enjoyed this one more than some of the other ones I've heard from them. But yeah, I do like you said. I'm always going to champion uniqueness, whether I like it or not, because I think that's where we start to allow more creativity and more things to shine. By allowing just things to be different. So I'm down with it. And I love the visual of this video. Like, I love the kind of really contrasty tones and like shit like that, because I love stuff like that in my own kind of video and photography type shit. So
yeah, I think it works well. There's just something really cool about what they're doing with Dreamcatcher. And I've listened to the album. Like, the album's really cool and it has some really nice different styles into it. And they are fun, and seeing them in like in like their stuff on their like YouTube page and like them hanging around is really cool. They have really cool personalities. I'm hoping to see them succeed more and get to do things like go on variety shows and go on talk shows and be able to kind of show their personality as well. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe get on things like King of Masked Singer, be able to show some of their talent through that. So looking forward to more from Dreamcatcher. Like, I think they're hopefully they continue to grow as a thing. So I want to see them succeed really badly. Yeah. That was Dreamcatcher. All right. That brings us to the end of the What's New segment. Now we transition over to our headlines. We talk about some stories, talk about some topical topics. Join us on the flip side. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the headline segment here on Hallyujuku, where we talk about some topical topics, things that are going on in the world of East Asian pop culture, some of the machinations and happenings and shenanigans in the world of K-pop and beyond. Let's get down to it. An update, I guess an update, more like kind of like a small semi-rumor. HyunA and I-DLE reportedly leaving Cube Entertainment. If this is your first episode, obviously we're not talking about the thing that happened last month, or at this point, last month. Obviously we had that whole kerfuffle and all the happenings thereon. It was left with they were going to get back to us with updates on what their final decisions was going to be. Things obviously probably had to do with negotiations and stuff like that. But on October 5th, news outlet Ilgan Sports released a report stating that HyunA and I-DLE will be leaving Cube Entertainment. According to a source, HyunA is in the process of parting with the agency. HyunA is reportedly wrapping up her exclusive contract due to being unable to fix the conflict that resulted from the company notifying her about her removal without any discussion. The report claims that HyunA and Cube Entertainment are organizing cases of renewed advertising contracts and balancing accounts. A source with the music industry said, quote, HyunA was hurt after finding out from a news report about Cube removing her without any discussion. Cube board members have different opinions, but since it was deemed difficult to fix the conflict with HyunA, the atmosphere feels like they are concluding the contract. There isn't a lot of time left in the contract, so they are naturally wrapping things up. The report further claims that HyunA has told her close acquaintances that she thinks her relationship with Cube is over now. Previously, obviously the HyunA and I-DLE. The agency has yet to provide an update regarding HyunA and I-DLE's contract. So this is okay. The headline says HyunA and I-DLE, but all the article is talking about is HyunA. No report on what's going on with I-DLE. But things, at least according to sources, according to news reports, nothing final, nothing from the agency. HyunA is leaving. But really, is this any a surprise? Like, no. At this point,
I think the biggest surprises in this is the confirmation that no one told HyunA, because that was a rumor that like how she found out. So now to have somewhat confirmation of how she found out, and then I think the fact of what we said happened with Cube's board being like, that's HyunA, like that's HyunA. Y'all need to fix this, and then she's like, nah, and they're like, well, can't fix it. Like, get up those checkbooks, folks.
They're gonna have to like work out some things, and they're gonna have to make good on things. This, and at this point with how things have been going, this is after her being able to renew on her terms. So she's got contingencies. At least you imagine. She
put that walk clause in there. She got
that LeBron contract. She got her player option. But yeah,
she's going to a new team in the same fucking conference, bro.
There's been rumors here and there, but nobody. But there's nothing final, obviously. But this is obviously going on with the sports thing. This is a big free agent now becoming available, and a lot of companies are going to be chomping at the bit. There's obviously the big rumor was mainly because of her stylist getting or putting something on her Instagram, but AOMG was thrown around, which would be interesting.
That would be fucking dope. Okay, like
yes.
HyunA on AOMG would be fucking like. I think that would be world burning.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe HyunA needs a cha-cha beat. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs a cha-cha beat.
I think that would be dope. Because, like, the only other place in connectivity to your second story that you have in here would be YG or YG sublabel.
Or maybe, like, or like her own agency or something, like, smaller, like a Make Us Entertainment. But as far as, like, a big place, yeah.
Yeah. But I think those would be the two most viable. I feel like AOMG is viable just because I think being around. I think for me, I want AOMG to start proving themselves in other facets rather than just R&B and hip hop. And I think if they can attract somebody who kind of already has that flavor and attitude that a lot of the artists and people at AOMG has, you just kind of you make this perfect like soup of just something that'll come out really, really well. I think that creative team that J Park has there is just exceptional. Like I think we talked about this before that like at some point I would love to see an AOMG produced boy group or girl group. You know what I mean? Like, and this could be maybe that spark, right? You let HyunA keep doing solo shit, like, under the AOMG label, but this is that spark to show that they can produce pop.
Yeah.
Because I still feel like that's the thing you have to be able to do as a Korean music label. You have to be able to produce pop, I think. I feel like. To really make it.
It's useful. It's a useful thing. And even like if they get her, she may even be like the person that could be the center of that creative brain trust for that group. Because like if you think about the fact that she was when Cube had her take over CLC's musical direction and essentially kind of cloned herself for a minute in the form of CLC. But I think overall that worked well. Like, I actually think that song is one of their best songs and was one of the most interesting songs, Hobgoblin. It just, I still like that is still a song I think about. And partially it's because of the beginning. Because anytime I hear somebody say I'm in the zone, I'm always like, I'm in the zone. We are CLC. But like that made it that memorable. So like her being like the creative head of like their new girl group, or whatnot, that would be cool. Or she could, like I said, she could end up at YG under like maybe Black Label or something, like Jeon Somi, formerly of IOI, and a billion other temporary girl groups. Jeon Somi, Black Label confirms that Somi has signed with them, will likely debut as a solo artist.
Is Black Label, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know if you know this either, but
it's Teddy's sub-label.
Is it? Okay, it's Teddy's sub. Okay.
Yeah, because Epik High's former sub-label, and we'll talk about that there in a little bit, but their sub-label was High Ground. But that...
Right.
Tableau stepped down from that, and so not doing that anymore. After reports emerged, the Somi would be taking her talents to YG Entertainment, subsidiary of the Black Label. Sources within the agency have confirmed that they signed her to an exclusive contract. Also, this amazing picture. A source from the Black Label said, quote, "We have signed an exclusive contract with Jeon Somi, who has proven her talents as an artist and has infinite potential. Through diverse trials and activities, we will wholeheartedly support her to become a world-class artist," end quote. Perhaps just as importantly is that Somi will likely be fast-tracked to a solo debut rather than to be part of a girl group. It was also reported that it is highly likely that Jeon Somi would debut as a solo artist rather than a member of the girl group in order for her to debut quickly, according to the report. I think you can kind of like piece things together and assume that this was probably a big reason why she was leaving. She left JYP. In that she's like, well, she could have like just felt that she's done the girl group thing at this point, even though she, it was only like temporary girl group after temporary girl group, but right. Like she did the IOI thing. It may have only been a year, and she feels she's ready to just do her solo thing, and she wasn't gonna, and likely wasn't gonna want to wait around another 2 years or another year or two to debut in a new girl group that has to then get its feet off the ground and then try to succeed in those next couple of years, and then maybe like 3 or 4 years from now, that kind of has momentum, and then you're able to like. I could definitely see how she felt like, no, I kind of want to do me right now, and I feel like I have what it takes to be a solo artist. Does she have what it takes? We don't know. That's hard to tell. I've always felt like I've always looked at her as a girl group member. And there are girl group members that I've looked at and like, no, she's a kind of like, she's a quality singer, she's a solo artist waiting to happen, she's ready to break out, but she very much is, at least at this point of her career, at least from what I can see, a girl group member, and I think her strength is in being a solid member of a girl group, a solid role player, as it were. But if she has that much confidence in herself, I'm not gonna want to dull her shine. I will say that. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and say if you think you got what it takes and you have people backing you, go for it. We'll see. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What was your reaction?
I mean, you know me, I'm always down for any kind of Teddy produced anything. I think that man can produce his way into anything. So, but at the same time, I kind of am in your boat where it's like, I don't know if I agree. Like, and then it makes you think, but like you said, I don't want to take away in any way from what the possibility could be. You know what I mean? I don't want to typecast and say that this person only fits this role, because maybe it's just a situation where they play that role as well as they can because that's the role they're in, and now putting them on this pedestal will make them stand out even more. Like, so.
Yeah, I mean, if Teddy was a guy that could get Park Bom to be useful in the recording studio, so the man can work wonders. He's he'll do some magic, or at least beat his head into the wall just to make it work. And Jeon Somi is not without talent. She is a talented singer, not exceptional, but a talented singer. She's learned a lot as far as being a performer, and she's been training at it for a while now. So. And she has ambition, which is the big thing. She has ambition and confidence, it seems. So, yeah, hey, get at it. Like people taking control of their career. And you know, I kind of like I threw in this other article about the responding to hate comments. I did like that she's just like she's kind of taking like the haters in stride, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of responding to people on Instagram, like
because she's like
calling her snake. She's like, not quite.
Yeah, because she's like, I don't gotta play JYP nice anymore, motherfucker. It's a black label, dog. It's savage out here.
Yeah. So look forward to
that.
Like,
I will snap on a motherfucker out here.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Jeon Somi. All the best luck to her. All right. Speaking of now, that's somebody coming into YG. Speaking of people departing YG, Epik High parts ways with YG Entertainment. Epik High has left YG Entertainment on October 2nd. YG Entertainment announced in an official statement, quote, YG Entertainment's exclusive contract with Epik High has ended after a long discussion. YG and Epik High came to an agreement to not renew. YG Entertainment continues, quote, YG expresses gratitude to Tableau and Epik High. Tableau and then the rest of the dudes. Okay. It's just your boy Mr. Jin not gonna be singled out. Your boy DJ Two Cuts, like, no, they're just the other dudes.
Now you know why they're leaving.
Yeah, no love for DJ Two Cuts, who have done great music together with us for 7 years. We are also cheering on their new start and activities. We hope they will always be in good health and happiness, and we ask for many people to send blessings for Epik High's future. End quote. We express our deep gratitude to the fans of love Epik High as a YG artist. The statement continues. They've been with YG, of course, since 2011. But definitely, I guess they're ready to move on. It's kind of like we're the landing place after the whole, after all that, the whole scandal fell down on Tableau, and the whole headhunt of people trying to tell him he ain't got his degree when he done had his degree, and he had the receipts, and people didn't want to believe him. Like, fuck, I didn't, like, the dude did not study night in, night out to get that master's to have you doubt him. But yeah, YG was a nice landing spot for them. what are your thoughts of what are your thoughts of seeing them leave YG, and what do you think their plan is now?
I'm stuck on the fact that I remember when they went to YG, and then I just read that was 2011. I was like, I'm sorry, what, 7 years? Excuse me?
God, we've been...
thought that shit was yesterday, dog.
We've been doing this podcast for 5 years. You want to how that blow your mind? God. We did it in 2013. We started this. Man, it's crazy.
I'm having a moment, man. But yeah, no, so what I would love is just for them. I think, like you said, I think for Epik High, way more than for HyunA, I think this is a situation for Epik High to now start their own thing if they want to do that. But I don't think they're necessarily beholden to that.
Yeah. They could just they could start their own label, if they were inclined to. But that depends on is if that's where their energy is. Or if that's what on any of their energy is. Tableau did step down from high ground, and I mean that may have been partially because there has been supposedly it was not bringing in money, but they being a CEO of a new company may not be what he has in mind, but you never know.
Maybe we get a new Epik High album out of this.
Yeah. They might join another label, or they might have somebody else.
Epik High on AOMG. Everybody goes to AOMG.
It's like AOMG is the new Golden State Warriors. That's it. This is Korean hip hop's Warriors.
Think of the world, right? Think of the world where motherfucking J Park, who started out in 2 p.m., starts this label that is him and his homies, AOMG, but because he's J Park, it is just fucking pulling in money out of his ass somehow. And now you get to this point where there's AOMG, J Park, AOMG with HyunA, and AOMG with J Park, HyunA, fucking all the other artists that they have, Gray and Loco, and all these other people who are AOMG affiliated, and Epik High.
Yeah. I would be crazy.
I'd have to go to South by Southwest at that point, because they would hit South by Southwest hard.
Yeah. It would just take over the Korea South. Well, actually, no, they wouldn't do that. They would have their own showcase. It would be the AOMG showcase, and it would be an official South by event. We would have to get... There would be fucking wristbands only. But we'd sneak in there. We'd sneak in the back door. That's fine. That would be insane. It's like they're the last piece that basically makes AOMG the Korean hip hop and R&B Golden State Warriors, which is hilarious. But that's, of course, this is all just crazy speculation. We don't even know if anybody's going to.
AOMG, yo, go find Benzino too. Bring Benzino back. I miss Benzino.
Yeah, I still don't understand how he's on Illionaire. Still just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
AOMG wasn't around yet.
Still doesn't make sense. Oh, well.
You gotta go where you go, man. You gotta go where you gotta go where you can.
Alright. Couple of things. YG, there's reportedly going to do another survival show, which is dumb, for a new girl group and boy group. Not really worth spending too much time on this. I just want to say, like, fuck YG for this. This is dumb. He just did that Mix 9 thing. And he's still on that lawsuit with Happy. They're still in the lawsuit with Happy Face Entertainment over that group not debuting.
I mean, cross even that shit. Like, whatever. That shit is there, right? Like you gotta deal with that shit. But the fact that you're talking about adding and yet another girl group and boy group, like, what?
You got one of those and one of the other one already.
And it's not even the what you have, like fucking I almost called them Red Velvet, but fucking Blackpink is starting to fucking 2NE1. Like, you hear from them and then you don't hear shit. Like, they're getting to that point. At this point I don't even remember the last, like, good winter debut. You've been given all the good fucking winter songs to iKON for some reason to try to fucking salvage that boat.
They've been coming back, but it's like, I don't know, that everyday, I'm still not a fan of that song. It's
like winter was doing really, really, and if they just kept the consistency that they had, I think they'd be a good close number 2-ish to where BTS is. I don't think they'd be close to BTS. I just think they'd be further ahead than everyone else if they were allowed to keep the consistency that BTS has. Like, BTS has so much consistency in releasing music and going through all the other machinations of idolization. And now they sit on this throne where they can pick and choose. They are now, they're almost now where fucking the fucking G-Dragon and them are. Like,
yeah, they can just pick and choose like what they do. Like what it was like all the winners it has is that Lee Seung-hoon is on friggin' that Dancing High show. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, okay. And then like Blackpink is just nowhere to be found, and they get no opportunities to promote and perform, and which is like the biggest thing, because it very much shows every time they do perform how much they need more time to perform and get comfortable on stage, because that last set of comebacks for Dudu, like, the big thing was like, they don't look great. Like, they still look a little uncomfortable on stage, and it's been 2 years now since their debut. And that's not a lot of time, but it's at that point you should have some like performances under your belt, not necessarily a concert, but you usually start to get into a momentum of being comfortable on stage, at least after a couple of years. But they just don't get to be out there. Like, look at their discography. They have 2 EPs, they have 2 mini albums in 2 years, which is, not to like want to have them crank out music on the constant, but you, in that 2 years, you should either have a full-length album's worth of releases, or a full-length album that you have promotional singles from. But like, they just don't. They don't have a full concert worth of songs. Like, if they had a concert, they would have to fill out with covers. Like,
I mean, so let's take a couple other groups just in comparison to the way YG promotes, right? Let's use
BTS as like the control, right? So like I feel like after their debut, we didn't hear from BTS for a little bit. And then we kind of got that spray down, just that fucking massive like spray down of like a bunch of singles from BTS. And then like I think like 2 mini albums within like within their first 2 years. There was like maybe 2 or maybe 3 mini albums. And then I think we got like
so like if you look at their debut, Too Cool for School.
Yeah.
Single album. Those I think that was their debut, and then there was EPs. Okay, so no, their debut was Are You Late Too? Yeah, that was the big one. And yeah, they had the Too Cool for School single album. Or no, that was before. Okay, no, Too Cool for School was first. Then Are You Late Too was their first mini album, and then yeah, they had School Love Affair in early 2014, and then they had both halves of Most Beautiful Moment in Life in 2015, which is 2 mini albums in that same year. They had some nice, they had some singles throughout. Like they had an album in 2014. They had So if we're looking just in their singles, they had 3 singles in 2013, 4 singles in 2014. 3 singles in 2015, 4 singles in 2016, 3 singles in 2017, and obviously a couple singles in 2018. But yeah, in their first 2 years, and obviously this is a boy group, it's a different mentality, but like,
well, no, I'm comparing like Icon, Winner, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I feel like the YG media cycle for these groups is kind of designed to make it like these groups don't want to step on each other's feet, but then there's just these lapses of time. Even when one group is done, it's not like and then another group start. You know what I mean? Like there are these blocks of time in between that just like make no sense to me.
Honestly, I don't even think that that's even part of the plan. I think it's just YG wants to. It's just the regular YG stuff. Because honestly, there were times where there was that, I think, one period of time where he deliberately had both groups come out at the same time as a competition thing. Like and like
if it was me, like in that controlling body of having 3 groups that people want to hear shit from, I think I'd be running on like a 3-month cycle, at least with singles or like mini albums, like, or something like, Winner drops something, Blackpink drops something, Icon drops something. Okay, let's do a fucking tour. You know what I mean? Like, let's do the YG tour. Like,
I would say you start off the year with like maybe you start with Winner with like a single, a mini album, and then Icon, and then you kind of have throughout the year singles here and there from them, building up to late in the year a full album from each of those 2, the boy groups, and then throughout the whole year there are Blackpink singles, a couple of Blackpink singles and mini albums. That's fine. You put out digital singles and mini albums from your girl group, and then your boy group has promotional build up to big physical releases. Because it's your boy group, so you're going to sell physicals on your boy group. Even if you think you're different, YG, they're still boy groups. They're still going to get that fandom, so sell those physicals. It's just money. It's money on the table that you can get. Like the money is there, and you can just get it. I don't know.
I don't. It's just their cycle of promotion. Like at this point, as many times as we have been through it on like all is that? Oh no, that's not even an album. That was just like that was air. Like that was air out of someone's asshole. You know, how hard did we wait for the fucking Top album? Like us and the rest of the world, clinched assholes, just like nope.
No. We got like that one song.
Which led to nothing. It led to nothing. It was the entryway to just
the bridge to nowhere.
Fucking dash dreams.
Like the bridge to Terabithia. All it led to was disappointment and tears. Like
you're just like
drowning. Like
it's fucking yellow brick road that leads to a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah. That's YG in a nutshell right there. Right there.
Yellow brick road that leads to a dumpster fire.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Fuck, now I gotta do that Photoshop.
Yep. There you go. I gave Petey something to do.
Yes. Yes.
I ain't mad. I ain't still mad about old shit.
Yeah. We stay salty about YG here at the Hallyujuku headquarters.
God. I don't know how we got into that. I'm fucking mad now.
Let's leave it at that. Let's call it a day. I kind of there was another headline about one of the dudes from Super Junior tried to slide into the DMs, which is still a funny story. It's not worth kind of going into at this point. We've already we have plenty of episode to go. It's just your boy talking to a fan site thing. Go look it up. It's hilarious stuff. But that's aside. We're gonna call this an episode of Hallyujuku. Cass, what's going on? What's going on in your world? What do you got to tell us?
Going on in my world is still doing a lot of preparation for TwitchCon coming up. I'm going to be doing that later in the month at this point. Also, Sports Odds and Ends, the show for the fly-by-night sports fan. You can come listen to us talk about all things sports and listen to me cry about being 0-4 in fantasy football. And oh wait, no, I'm 1-4 now. The comeback starts here, boys.
Greatest comeback of all time, right there.
Somehow I'll still lose by the end of this night. So check Twitter.
Yeah, hey, don't count your fantasy points until the day after. Wait till Tuesday before you count your fantasy points. Sometimes they'll just fuck around and like take 2 points off you for whatever reason. But they'll just like, nah. You're like 2 yards shorter.
I'm in here. I'm fucking up by fucking 2.5 points. Fucking you check Monday night, you're down fucking 4.5. You're like, what happened? They're like, carried a 3, man. Fucking had to do some long division.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I'm glad to step away from fantasy football because of that. But I kind of miss it though. But yeah. Check out sportsoddsandends.com. He's of course at King Kaz. I'm at PD Rave.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
The show is Hallyujuku. KPopPodcast.com is a great way to find the show and all the episodes and the show notes and the info and all the links to all the articles and the YouTube videos and whatnot. And we got the RSS feed to subscribe.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
You can, of course, find us all over the internet, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on everywhere you find podcasts.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Subscribe, like, share, do all the things. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Why, I think you're crazy.
And you're fighting.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.